be for you guys. When he comes up here and preach, why don't you take that liberty that was bought for you? Amen? My heart doesn't have to be burdened. I don't have to feel condemned. I have been set free. Amen? I have liberty to worship God. I have liberty to sing praises to God. I have liberty to get in here and go, amen, Brother Begley. Brother Begley, come on down and take your liberty. I love you. Love you too, brother.
Praise the Lord. Brother, is this microphone working?
Yes, it does.
Let's all stand for a moment, if you would please.
Amen.
The attitude we approach God has everything to do with his reaction. Respect, honor. I want you to just bow your hearts to this, I pray. Father God, I ask you today for divine insight. Help us to see and understand with clarity how we can better walk with you in depth, see things we never saw before, hear things we never heard before, that we may be more victorious in this life and walk out the perfect will of God. Everybody said amen. 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 You may be seated. I have some things to share with you that's going to be a little bit adult or meaty. Everybody say meaty. Say it again. One more time. Meaty. Meaty. God's relationship to you is unconditional. God promised he'll never be mad at you again. Regardless of what you do. I have children and grandchildren. Regardless of how they act, I still love them. They don't always please me. We're going to talk today about some things that hinders God's people that are already forgiven from receiving. Now, I'm a faith preacher. Faith is our part.
Amen.
Everything you get from God, you receive by faith.
Amen.
You believe what's preached, you receive it. But the Bible said, you sang it this morning, Ephesians chapter 2, by grace are we saved through faith. Not yourself, it's the gift of God. Everybody say gift.
Yeah.
Gift. Say it again.
Yeah.
When you approach God in this attitude, God gave us his Son. His Son paid the ultimate sacrifice. We all kind of know that. But I want to go back to the Garden of Eden before man fell. Before man fell, he was not aware of anger, strife, envy. He was not aware of hate or fear. One lady said to me, she said, where would you men be without us women? I said, shut up and be in the garden. Work with me, people. They were naked. It didn't bother them. They ate the fruit. They didn't become more naked. You can't get more naked than naked. But their perspective changed.
Amen.
The way they saw things changed. Now, just to be careful. Angels have no conscience. You can shoot your foot off with one of them. They have no conscience. Before man fell, he didn't need a conscience. He didn't need to know about death and anger and wars. And he didn't need to know. But when he ate of that tree of what? The knowledge of what? Good and evil. Actually, a better rendition would say good and bad. Good and bad. Isaiah prophesied later that there'll come a time that they'll call good evil and evil good.
Amen.
How can you call abortion good? But twisted thinking calls it good, which is actually bad. Amen. So all of life is an avenue of choices. I'm going to say a lot of things you need to hear. We call it the age of accountability. A baby on this side of the cross, before Christ came, if it died, it went to heaven. If a baby today on this side of the cross died, goes to heaven. But you reach about 12, 13, 14 years old. And now you're held accountable. Why? Because you know right from wrong. That was amen. Have you ever noticed everything in life has a good side and a bad side?
Amen.
Money can be good, or it can be bad. You can buy a Bible or a Playboy magazine.
Amen.
The same cell phone that can save you in a blizzard, if you're down the road, texting can kill you. So everything has a good side and a bad side. I'm going somewhere. You need to hear this. That was in the book of Romans, the 6th chapter. He called it the body of sin. The body of sin was broken by Calvary. The body of sin means this. Man, after he fell, the devil was his stepdaddy.
Amen.
He lost that nature he once had. He died spiritually that day. So all sinners out there, actually their daddy's the devil. You probably got some kid folks that act like me. That was humorous. On this side of the cross, nobody can be born again. Nobody.
Amen.
So God did things in types and shadows to show you the true picture. You see, if the sun's shining, you see my shadow on the wall. And you get a silhouette of what we look like, resemble. But if you want to know the truth, look at me, not the shadow. So the New Testament is meaty, but it's the real deal. The other day the Lord said to me, He said, son, you don't know what you have in the new birth. You don't know what you have in the baptism of the Holy Ghost.
Amen.
He said you can study all your life and not see the fullness of what I have for you. Now, what I want to say to you is this. Once man got a conscience, have you ever noticed that medicine, take the purple pill for cramps. You may get facial hair. You may have a stroke and get pregnant. But you won't have no cramps. I just don't have the cramps. So everything in life has a good, or you can yield to the goodness, or you can misuse it. Misusing church becomes religion.
Amen.
We're not a religion, we're a family.
That's right.
Somebody say it. You get born, and now we have His nature. But the propensity in your flesh still wants to sin. If you don't go to church and hear the Word of God, your soul wants to sin. But in the new birth, your spirit was sealed. Ephesians says so. It says you've been accepted in the beloved. He put His nature in you in the new birth. And now the things you used to want to do, you don't want to do anymore.
That's right.
But if you don't feed your soul and feed your spirit, they'll gang up against you, and you'll be going to do the same thing you used to do, even though inside you feel like an egg-sucking dog. Egg-sucking dog. Y'all don't get out much, do y'all? And so the Bible tells us what to do. 3 John, verse 1, says, beloved, now are you the sons of God. It does not yet appear what you shall be.
Amen.
When He shall appear, you're going to be just like Him. Just like Him. Just like Him.
That's right.
Well, there's a part of us that's like Him now. 1 John also said that we have his seed and you cannot sin. Your spirit man can't sin. If you do sin, it's your soul and your flesh. Work with me, people. Now, what does that do? That creates a war. If you get out of church and start doing wrong, you feel bad on the inside. Well, when you're a sinner, it didn't bother you. Even sinners have a conscience. Most sinners know right from wrong. But now that we're believers, everybody say, I'm a believer.
Believer.
Say it again.
I'm a believer.
We need to understand God's predicament. Man, after the fall, God's on the outside looking in. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, all the old patriarchs, they had the wrong nature. And so for 2,000 years, from Adam, the way Christ teaches, the way the Bible teaches, is contrast. He contrasts the first Adam to the last Adam. He contrasts the law to what we call the New Testament. 1 John 1:17 says, Moses brought the law, but Jesus brought truth and grace. Everybody say truth and grace.
Truth and grace.
So today, we're not under the law. We're under truth and grace. There was no sin there to be held against anybody until God gave the law. We're from Oklahoma. If you're out here on a tractor in the middle of the field, and you're going 10 miles an hour, but they passed the law, you can't go over 15 miles an hour. And you're out there and you're hammering down and you're going 20 on your John Deere. And someone sees you and calls the tractor police. And they lock you up. Well, there's no, if with no law you can't do it, then it's not wrong. So why would God give a law and say, thou shalt not, thou shalt not? Because it amplifies sin. He gave sin his strength. It's to him. I'm going somewhere. He had to bring us to a place of feeling guilty.
Amen.
The law brought death and condemnation. So you'd feel unworthy and no good and plunge yourself on his mercy. That makes sense? That makes sense? That's how you felt when you got born again. I'm so unworthy, I'm so no good. Well, that was true. You was a sinner. But now, in the new birth, you've been made righteous. You've been made righteous. But see, you know you. You know how ugly you've been all week. One preacher said, Brother Dale said, do you wake up cranky? I said, no, I just let her sleep. Put on the screen, if you would, please. 1 John chapter 3, verse 19. I can quote it if you didn't see this. 1 John 3:19. Everybody say, I love Brother Dale.
Love Brother Dale.
Well, that's kind of the week. I'll make this head again before long. 1 John 3:19. Are you there? Is everybody there? Say amen. 1 John 3:19. This we know that we belong to the truth, how that our heart, we set our hearts in rest in his presence. Is that the King James or New King James? You got the King James? Mm-hmm. King James is a little bit better. The King James is kind of archaic, but it gets right to the point. It says here that we must assure our hearts. Assure. Now we don't use assure. What that means is when part of you's feeling wrong, anger, frustration, you got to talk to your heart and say, hey, listen, you're washed in the blood. You have to assure yourself. I don't always feel spiritual. Sometimes I have a bad hair day. I rejoice because I got hair. One of the greatest miracles that ever happened in our ministry, a man called me about 7 o'clock in the morning. He'd been to the counselor over here to the doctor. They sent him home to die. Had cancer. They gave him 90 days to live. And he's down praying. And the Lord said, go to Del Baby's house and I'll heal you. Well, I'm not anything. I'm just a UPS driver. FedEx, UPS. Y'all don't get out much, do y'all? And so he called, knocked on the door, 7 o'clock. I hadn't had no coffee. I didn't feel spiritual. I hadn't looked at my preaching license in a long time. Do you know that guy got healed? I didn't feel nothing. You know he lived, I think, 26 years. Listen, Paul said, when I'm weak, it's when I'm strong. What do you mean by that? When you have reached the end of what you think is wonderful. It's not about you, it's about him.
Amen.
Now, give you another reference. I'm in Indiana 30-something years ago, preaching revival. Pastor took me out and showed me some land, a little bit of school, Well, we looked up and we're late for our own service. I mean, it's 7 o'clock or 7:15, and we've got to drive 25 minutes. So we sped to the church, we walked back there, we put our towels, slicked our hair back, and walked out on the stage like we're real spiritual. Then I ended up singing, hand me the microphone. Well, I'm as known as a toad frog. I stood around and tried to preach them. All of a sudden the Spirit said, I'm going to do 3 things tonight. I thought, I wonder what they are. You know, 17 people got their teeth filled with gold that night. 17. And I didn't feel nothing. It's not about how wonderful you feel. Listen to me. Sometimes you feel real good about yourself. I don't smoke, and I don't chew, and I don't chase those girls that do. become self-righteous. It's not about self-righteousness, it's all about His righteousness. Let's be careful. The whole world rewards you by your performance. But God doesn't. In the Old Testament, it was by performance. You do this, you'll get this. You do this, you'll get this. But in the New Testament, it's not about your performance, it's all about Jesus' performance. And when you believe in what He did, you get His reward. It's not your righteousness that takes you to heaven, it's His righteousness. Amen. So you may feel horrible about yourself, because you know you. Amen. Huh? But if you begin to see what the Bible says about you, I say this a lot because it bears repetition. I'm going to repeat. Hillary Clinton was trying to get some votes. So she goes to a nursing home. And she's told this nursing home patient, do you know who I am? They said, nah, but go to the front desk, they'll tell you. You have to go to the Bible to tell you who you are and what you have. Amen. Now, even now that we're born again, if you don't feed your spirit right preaching, your own spirit will condemn you. God never condemns. God never condemns. He's not the condemner. If there's a house down here on Maple Street and the state puts a condemned sign on it, you know what it means? Not fit for use. Condemned. God never condemned you. You don't have to be perfect for God to use you. If He had to wait for perfect people, He could only use me in the factory, and He could only use the factory about half the time. Get back on the platform. So get it out of your head that you have to be perfect. Jesus was the perfect one. I said Jesus was the perfect one. And so in the Old Testament, you can see God's wrath. Do you know in the Old Testament, you couldn't be a priest if you had a flat nose? Or a pimple? You couldn't offer a sheep if it had a blemish on it. It had to be pure gold, a lamb without a spot. The priest couldn't have a pimple or a zit. Representing Christ was perfect. Trust me, you're not. Amen. But you can be through Him, because faith in Him pulls His reward to you. When you got here, you was a sinner. What did you do to become a sinner? Did you kick your mama too hard in the womb? No, your great-great-granddaddy, Adam, sinned. And you got that by nature. I'm not smarter than you think. What about all these people in foreign countries, remote, that never had a chance to come to Sonshine Fellowship? Never had a chance to hear this preacher or that preacher. The Bible said in Romans chapter 1, there's enough God in nature that they're without excuse. I guarantee you, if you think back when you was a child. That's the reason I'm so pleased at what you're doing here with these young people. All young people under the age of accountability are innocent. If they die, they go to heaven. Paul said in Romans 7, I was alive unto God once. The commandment came and I died. See, when you know to do and then don't do, it's a sin. Amen. But God is not imputing your sin because He forgave you. He said another way. If you got saved today, would Christ have to come back down here and die again? No. Did He forgive you before you ever sinned? If someone received healing today, would Christ have to go back to the whipping post? No. He healed you before you was ever sick. He paid the price. Now it's your job and my job to receive it. That's right. What your own heart will do is condemn you. Let's go back here. Hereby we know that we are of the truth, and shall assure our heart. Assure our heart. What's it mean? Make certain. Tell your heart. Tell your spirit, man. I'm washed in the blood. I've been separated. There's three parts of me, spirit, soul, and body. But Jesus at Calvary broke the body of sin. I no longer have sin in my spirit, man. That makes sense to you? Amen. See, look at me. I know this is a little meaty, but you need to hear this. Faith and grace have to work together. Sodium will kill you. Chloride will kill you. You mix them together, and they make your food taste good, called table salt. All faith will hurt you. All grace will hurt you. You need a blend of the two. Faith is your part, grace is his part. But you got to know what he's done for you. You can't believe yourself. I believe Brother Dale, you're going to come by my house and paint my house. You can believe it all you want to. I ain't coming. I didn't tell you I would. So you got to know what he has done for you, even though when you don't feel saved, you don't look saved. That's people walk by faith and not by feelings.
That's right.
How you know even preachers don't always feel saved?
Amen.
Huh? Somebody say, man, I'm about to blow up. Why is this so important? God, at Calvary, in seed form, paid for all your sin, all your sickness, and made you prosperous. Amen. Well, how come I ain't got it? It's up to you to get it. You still have to possess it. Every sinner on the planet is forgiven. Christ didn't die for Christians. He died for the ungodly. Well, I qualified. I was good at it. I was anointed to sin. I got up early to sin. I could do the funky chicken with the best of them. Huh? Someone say amen? Amen. But now he's changed my nature. But listen, we'll go a little further. I will show you. Go to the next verse 20. Won't you see this? This is the gospel of love. When you know the love of God, I don't care if you murder 1,000 people a day. There's nothing you can do to get God not to love you. Nothing. Nothing. There's nothing you do to get God mad at you. He promised he'll never get wrong with us again. You know why? He don't look at you, he looks at his son.
That's right.
First, I will quote this now. Ephesians 4 chapter, last verse. I'm just going to quote this. He said, be kind, tender-hearted, for God, for Christ's sake, forgives you. Everything we get on this side of the cross is because of Jesus. This way, the core, will passing out chicken soup get you saved? No. Will feeding the poor? No. All these are good works. But listen, you can't earn it because it's a gift. Amen. You can't earn the gift. Amen. Salvation is a gift. You're justified by faith, free gift. It must be a free gift. Yeah. Say it again. When you start seeing it's a free gift, then when you mess up, brush yourself off, repent, quit doing it, and go on with God. Because you didn't lose your salvation. I don't have to work out my weights to prove I'm a man. Amen. Huh? And in our society today, you have to look twice. If you have to wonder, is that a man or a woman? You're already in trouble. We're in the era of gender bender. Amen. Huh? I'm not trying to be coy or funny, but if you know what you are, check your equipment. It will tell you what you are. Look, go to verse 21, please. This is really important. You can only trust your own heart if it's filled with correct preaching, the right word. Almost all of us would go to pray, feel unworthy. Amen. And so we try to impress God. Now think about it. Now my son, he's about 6'3", well he's about 265, we've had lunch, so he's 295. He don't shop, grocery shop at Walmart Supercenter. He goes to my house and shops for groceries. He found my ding dong stash. Took my ding dong, Oreos. Beloved, if our hearts condemn us not, if our hearts condemn us not, if our hearts condemn us not, God is greater we have confidence toward God. What does that mean? If our hearts condemn us not. See, God's not the one condemning you. See, you know what you've done. You were short or mouthy with your husband or whatever. You know what you've done. But that don't unravel what God's done in you. God has spared your heart means what He done inside you is bigger than your trivial mistakes.
Amen.
Okay, I'm going to go out on here on a limb. You want to go with me? God forgave you before you ever sinned. Unless you're over 2,000 years old. He healed you before you ever sinned. You have to watch trying to bring your experience. We need to go to say what the Word says about it, not how you feel. Don't get mad at me. I go to a lot of churches. I was raised Pentecostal. And brother, almost every service, they tried to scare us into heaven. You sorry dog, if you take a breath, you're going to hell. You sorry dog, you're going to hell. Well, it's the goodness of God that brings repentance, not scared of you. Are you listening to me? But here now you are born again. But your own heart, you need to learn, it can condemn you. When you pray or you believe in God, well, you're not worthy of a better house. You ain't good enough to have a better car. That's your own spirit condemning you. Romans 8 says there is no condemnation. Not in Christ. Not if you're walking after the Spirit. Not after the flesh. So you got to assure and tell your own heart. Why? Because you won't have enough confidence. You'll start looking at the circumstances. They look overwhelming. And your faith, but listen carefully, grace strengthens your faith.
Amen.
All the promises of God are yes and amen.
Yes.
He's not holding anything back. He wants you blessed all the time. Ain't no amens. Let's go to the Father. Beloved, our hearts condemn us not. Then we have confidence toward God next verse weeks. Whatsoever we ask, we receive of Him because we keep His commandments and do those things that please His sight. When you ask for God for something, if you feel condemned, I'm so unworthy, I had a woman stand up and testify. They said, I'm just a worm. I'm just a worm for Jesus. I said, well, sit down, Sister Wormy. You used to be a worm, but now you're born again. You're not a worm anymore. You're washed in the blood. And the Bible says, as He is, so are we in this world. Now, if you preach grace only, people think they can send you back with it. No. First Titus, chapter 2 and 12, says the salvation that appeared to all men teaches us, the grace inside you teaches us to live godly in this present world. There's something inside of you that's trying to teach you how to live. You can't outrun your conscience.
Amen.
So you need to learn to choose what He's trying to tell you. If you're trying to make you feel bad, then you need to tell your spirit what the Word says. That will assure you, and you'll have great confidence. Because you can't listen. How many's ever, maybe went around the house for 2 or 3 weeks, and hadn't cleaned up, You pick up a rag doll. Then you clean up and put your hair up or whatever, and then you look real nice. It gives you confidence. Getting full of the Word will give you confidence. I said, getting full of the Word will give you confidence.
Right.
What's inside you is to teach you. I don't have to yield to unworthiness. I know I messed up. Now, my son, if he came to my house and said, Daddy, I'm so unworthy. I'm so no good. I didn't go to work twice this week. I didn't make my bed. I kicked the dog when I shouldn't have. But can I please have a biscuit? I said, boy, quit acting like your mama. Just because you wasn't perfect, it's not going to hinder me from giving you a whole meal. I have fed my kids when they wasn't acting active word there.